guys, welcome back to the Flo Show. So, we're in a world crisis. Right. Yeah. I was supposed to release this a while ago, but then we had like a global pandemic.
Guess what, bitch? Coronavirus!
I just didn't really feel like trying to be funny. It was definitely not like my regular upbeat positive self. So, I'm back. Yay. Oh my god, we're almost at 300 subscribers. If you're new here, why don't you just go ahead and hit that subscribe button? And if you haven't watched parts 1 and 2 yet, make sure you watch those first, or else this is like not even gonna be funny. Actually, it probably will. It'll make more sense if you watch parts 1 and 2. I'll link those down below. Okay, without further ado, it's been a while. Let's get right into the last part of chapter 1 of my book.
Once I came around to the idea of Seth Dorfman, stuck to my hip with his arm around my waist and my arm over his shoulders. Every day for the rest of the school term. My childhood dreams had finally come true. After school dances came with newfound excitement. Field trips meant I had a permanent seat buddy, whether he liked it or not. Not like he would have told me anyway. He really didn't have much to say. Like, I literally don't even remember hearing his voice, ever. The conversations were held over MSN, of course. I'm not even kidding. This was what I wished for. On every wish chip, every 11/11, this was a real relationship to me. Shortly after we started dating, I begged my mom for a webcam so I could take our relationship to the next level. Clearly not what I told her it was for, but whatever my lie was, it worked. I got my webcam. Video chatting was a whole new level of MSN. Completely necessary for enhancing the dating experience. It felt so mature, so adult, so bad.
I wanna be bad.
Video chatting consisted of making sure I looked like a Bratz doll, biting my lips seductively, faking a pretty face giggle as I typed LOL, and simultaneously standing up to go to the bathroom, shoving my cleavage into the camera. It was a lot of work to keep up the act, but if that's what it took to be an elementary school hoe, that's what I was gonna do. Weekends were reserved for trying to put together movie nights with anyone and everyone in our grade. It was an excuse to invite Seth, or really any boy who would come. I mean, a movie night hangout wasn't cheating.
Cheating, yes or no?
Oh, it's cheating. Cheating.
Cheating.
In theory, it was the perfect makeout central. It was never actually makeout central. I wasn't the girl who would ever act on these urges. No way. I was waiting for someone to kiss me. I was craving that Hollywood first kiss moment. February, Seth and I went on our first official date. And in true romantic style, his whole family came to pick me up at my house in their chic teal minivan. I mean, duh, we were only 13. How else would we get there? Off to the theater we went. We watched the entire Ben Stiller comedy in complete silence, and if memory serves me right, held hands for the last 20 minutes of it. After an hour or so, slowly inching our fingers closer to each other. But I still hadn't achieved the one thing I was waiting for, our first real kiss. 8th grade was a special year for our school because it was the year of the grad trip. The one thing that wasn't totally lame about school. The one event we were actually really excited to go. We bussed for 5 hours to the next big city for a few nights and then busted home. It doesn't sound like a lot / any fun, but our expectations weren't high. We were just excited to get away from our families and do adult things, like go to restaurants. That's it. Not to mention a lot of the other schools went on these trips too, so bonus! New guys and gals to mingle with. In my mind, this trip was huge for Seth and me. This was basically our first trip together as boyfriend and girlfriend, a massive occasion in any relationship, even if we were only 13 and we're going with 100 other kids. As a couple, it was automatic that we sat together on the bus. We held hands the whole time. Arms around each other at every venue we went to. You could say we really grew closer as a couple. I mean, he still barely spoke 2 words to me in real life, but felt like we were making serious progress. The last morning was one I was so looking forward to. It was a pajama breakfast in the hotel with all of the other schools there. I had brought my favorite, perfect amount of slutty, but still appropriate for a school event pajamas for this very occasion. Tinkerbell booty shorts, baby pink hoodie that said dream, and my hair in sassy French braids. Let me tell you, I thought I was the shit. And as a matter of fact, I did get a lot of email addresses for my MSN little black book. On the bus ride heading home, Seth and I sat together, as usual. I sat with my hand in his, feeling giddy. Not about our relationship, just thinking about the new email addresses I had acquired with...
Cheating, yes or no?
Oh, it's cheating.
I was getting to the point where I wasn't sure why I was with Seth. My confidence was slowly growing. I thought I was taking the easy way to my first kiss by dating him. At this point, I didn't feel like I was getting closer to that moment. Seth and I had always instant messaged about kissing and making out, but we had never actually done it. The loophole of our relationship. It was a virtual fantasy. I needed to do something drastic if I was going to take my dating life from lame-o elementary school hand-holding to very mature kissing love. I had a plan. Step 1, get real close during the first movie they played on the long drive home. Step 2, act exhausted. So exhausted, in fact, that I could barely keep my eyes open. I leaned my delicate head on Seth's shoulders and appeared to fall into a deep sleep. A deep but beautiful Sleeping Beauty-esque sleep. Step 3. The deeper I fell into this fake slumberland, the closer my lips got to his. From where I was leaning on him, even with my eyes closed, I could sense he was finally getting the courage to kiss me. I could sense his lips were inches, if not centimeters, from mine. I was screaming it over and over in my head. Kiss me! Kiss me! Fucking kiss me! And then he did. Hallelujah. Yes! In that moment, I was absolutely thrilled. Even though it turned into like a braces-laden slobbery makeout session with what he thought was an unconscious mouth, I was still thrilled. I slowly started to wake from my makeout coma just as the bus pulled over at our last pit stop for dinner at a restaurant called the Sugar Shack. At this point of the trip, we were all over it. The over-the-top, backwoods, hillbilly Sugar Shack performers were doing their best to get us to enthusiastically participate, making music with washboards and like wooden spoons. The hipster Mumford & Sons trend was not even close to starting, so this was absolutely not cool. We were more concerned with making memories and taking pictures together on our disposable cameras. The energy of the group picked up, probably because we were more or less just eating maple syrup for dinner, hence the name Sugar Shack. Pancakes and sweet maple syrup for dinner. When it was time to get back on the bus, I assumed my position, getting ready to have my little elf man by my side, but the seat beside me remained empty, even after everyone was on the bus. And then something happened. There was a commotion outside. It was dark, and the lights were on in the bus, so I couldn't quite make out what was going on. But then I heard it. Seth Dorfman is throwing up!
Ow!
Oh my god! Ew! Ew!
Ow!
You're kidding. Fucking great. My boyfriend was supposed to be bringing my relationship maturity to the next level, not acting his shoe size and throwing up in front of our entire grade. He was lucky that none of the excruciating embarrassment was coming down on me, because if it had, Jess might have been over then and there. This bus ride home had gone from dream come true to time to dump you. Unfortunately, for an unsuspecting Seth Dorfman, public humiliation was not on the short list of qualities that I desired in a man. Seth was escorted back onto the bus by one of the teacher chaperones, straight to the back of the bus. Phew. I didn't make eye contact with him while he walked by. I had, luckily, just fallen quickly back into a deep sleep. I watched him walk by through the thin veil of my eyelashes. He walked right by me without a word. Step 1 of the breakup sequence? Complete. This was gonna be easy. Well, except for one small detail that I was overlooking. We never actually spoke in person. Once we were back to our regularly scheduled programming after our trip, I determined I wasn't going to do anything drastic. First of all, there were still a couple of weeks left of school, and how awkward would it have been to roam the halls with my ex? Simply too awkward for me. Besides that, and perhaps the more truthful reason for staying with him, our 8th grade graduation dance was going to be so much more fun if I had a guaranteed slow dance partner for every song. I would be mortified if I had to stand on the outskirts of the gymnasium like a wallflower for my last dance. But then that was it. Then it was over for us. I had been looking forward to the graduation dance for years. Like, I was finally going to be living my princess prom fantasy dreams that night. I had cut magazine clippings for years, pre-Pinterest days. The plan was look amazing.
Groundbreaking.
I wanted to be drop dead gorgeous. Every boy was going to question themselves, why didn't I date her? For the first time in my life, I felt confident that I was going to be a total bombshell. I got my hair done in a real updo at a salon. I had new stunning jewelry pieces from the world-renowned jeweler, Claire's. I sported a pale Cinderella blue halter top gown. Not only did I look like one, but I felt like a goddamn princess. And the only way for a princess to get around? A horse-drawn carriage. That wasn't in the cards. So horsepower would have to do. A neighbor of ours owned a bright yellow Ferrari, which he lent to my dad so I could make a grand entrance. I felt like a total badass. Until I pulled up to my shrimpy brace face of a date. Fuck. Truthfully, I avoided him most of the time by dancing the night away with my friends, but it probably went by unnoticed since we never talked anyway. Some kind of otherworldly force seemed to bring us together for each and every slow dance. Then we quickly repelled from each other once the fast song started. I spent the remainder of the night grinding on girls until our thighs could grind no more, which is when everyone in our grade took it to the after party. Everyone except for Seth and his friends. Like all of the other tween basement parties I had been to, this one consisted of mostly make-out games and girls crying. Business as usual. And naturally, I made out with almost every guy and girl and felt like a very cool, very slutty girl.
Cheating, yes or no?
Poor unsuspecting Seth.
Cheating.
Cheating.
The next day was the last day of school. We all wept and sobbed about how much we loved each other while writing messages in sparkly gel pens about not ever changing in each other's yearbooks. At the end of the day, I had to face the music. Luckily, I felt empowered, wearing my matching set of bright red tank top and shorts that read Heartbreaker across the boobs, which made them look even bigger. You really should have seen it coming. I walked right over to him and probably said more words than I had ever said to him at once. I told Seth I was going away for the next 2 months. I fake cried, saying how much I would miss him. Internally, I was relieved to put the embarrassment of our relationship behind me. But if you really think about it, I never actually said anything about breaking up. So I guess we never broke up. So technically, happy 17th anniversary, Seth! And there you have it. That is the first chapter of my book, my first boyfriend that I ever had. Now, let me just say that I am highly aware that I come across as not like an awesome person. But I will say that this book is a journey of self-confidence, self-love, discovering who you are, what you want, and how to get it. Because you know what? Everybody deserves to fall in love and laugh at the heartbreaks, you know? Does that make any sense? Should be like a motivational speaker. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and continuing to watch. I truly love you all. I'm going to try to make some more fun videos during this quarantine time. Lord knows we all have some time on our hands and we'd like a good laugh, a good distraction. So I'm going to do my best to bring you some good content coming up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. Maybe give this video a like if you like my book idea. Maybe leave your favorite original emoji. Can you do that? No. Probably not. Anyway, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time. Stay fierce, frugal, and fabulous.